Okay, so I went and got my stuff. So I've got my nippers and knife here. And I have big nippers and little nippers. White. And so we're just going to see what he lets me do. I'm going to do him standing tied, see how that goes. It's okay, and he's nervous. I can tell I have the tools. I can feel him tense up. Nervous? It's so good. Let's see if I can move over a tiny bit. I just don't like this pull right here. Good. Yes, good boy. Good boy, buddy. And I'm going to ask him to pick it up. Good job, bud. First thing I'm going to do, some of this super long frog. Good boy. Good boy, buddy. Nope. I am not the most dexterous with things, so it does take a little bit of time. So I appreciate him being patient. I'll do this last little. Good boy, buddy. Good boy, bud. Yes. Let's go back to the reward. Good boy. Good job. Tough. And I can feel him kind of snatch that leg up. It tells me a kick could be coming. You want to be careful your head's not back behind that hock or behind that leg, which can be easy to do, especially if you get engrossed in what you're doing and all of a sudden your head is in the same plane as your foot. Good boy. Good job, bud. So we're going to start here. Heartbeat. Good boy. One nip. Great. Good boy. At least hopefully this will be somewhat even. Good boy, buddy. I want to be very clear. This donkey did not come to me straight from the wild. He was with another trainer out in California who I have no personal experience with. His owner just said she needed to move him, so she asked if she could come play with him here. I said yes. I have no idea what foundation he had or how he came here. I just go off the donkey I see, which is that he was fairly nervous and a little shut down. So I'm just working on gaining some confidence, but I have never claimed that he came straight from wild to me. Now, there is something going around that I've never worked with wild burros, which is not true. I've never gotten any from a certain person here who gets a lot of wild donkeys for holding and sells them. But I have worked with numerous donkeys that either came straight from holding or were sold as unhandled. I've worked with donkeys straight from kill pens that have been in abuse situations. So I'm not quite sure where that myth is coming from. But Holly, who is my absolute best donkey, came to me from Florence unhandled. I was the only person who ever trained her, and she is a little rock star. Granted, I made a lot of mistakes with her, which I have learned from, and I try to keep others from repeating. And interestingly enough, the reason I got into wild donkeys was because when I first got into donkeys, I shadowed or observed a couple of what used to be known as tip trainers, and saw some of their methods, and they were all nice enough people, but donkeys were really, really scared. And I was wondering if there was a way to do it without that fear in the initial stages. And so I decided I wanted to try my own and adopted Polly. And guess what? It can be done. I didn't have to put her in a chute or a squeeze or corner her, panel her to get a halter on. I got her, and she was wild for 4 years in holding for about 9 months, I believe. But the first time I got her, by the second day I was able to touch her face and put SWAT on because I got her in the end of July, so flies were awful. And the second day I was able to halter her by using touch, and did it without any trauma, without having to panel her. And then guess what? I took the halter off and we did it again. Was able to get on halter and fly mask by the second day. So all these trainers, they're saying you have to, they're dangerous wild animals, but yet turn around and say an 8-year-old can gentle them in their competitions. I don't quite understand. But they are not dangerous. I mean, yes, they can be dangerous animals. They're large. They can be unpredictable. but they are not malicious animals. Most of them, they're scared. So you have to understand that and respect that. But that's where I love working with them. And honestly, the wild ones that I've worked with are 1,000 times easier than the ones that have been shut down by high pressure training tactics. But yeah, so there are other ways. Just because something's how it's been done for a long time doesn't mean it necessarily is the right way or the only way. And just like my way is not the only way, there's other ways that work. I really don't care what other trainers do, as long as they're not abusing donkeys and as long as they're not misleading new owners. Have at it. Good boy, Choco. I am different than some in that I don't feel that any home is a great home and that just the only goal is to get them out of holding. I feel that holding is very preferable to some homes that I've seen, and I don't just consider getting out holding out of the frying pan to the fire a win, essentially. I want to make sure that they're going to good homes that care for them appropriately, and are not just collecting donkeys for the heck of it. And that's where I really try to educate people. A lot of people don't know. You don't know what you don't know, unfortunately. If they're an animal, you should do research before you get them. But a lot of people don't, so I try to help those owners. And good boy. Yes. Good job, buddy. Nice work. Good job. These animals really are the best pets. They're next to my Lake Doberman. They are hands down my favorite animal that I've ever worked with. And they deserve good owners that are gonna care for them properly and just love them and take care of them and treat them for the amazing animals they are. They're not less than a horse just because they're not a horse. They are equines, and they're really cool equines. Honestly, I had horses for 20 some years, and I greatly prefer donkeys to horses now. I have no desire to go back. If I ever really wanted to ride, I would get myself a mammoth donkey and ride that around, because they just have such amazing brains and they're just such amazing animals. So I really just try to educate owners. Good boy. Good job, bud. Nice work. Sure. My knife is dull. Good boy. Great. Good job, buddy. Boy. What good little dog. I think they do realize it feels better. The rest go over it real quick, and then they'll be done with that. We're gonna go see what he thinks of the tire this evening. Scary noise. Is that a scary noise? Is that a scary noise? It's okay. It doesn't have to be scary. All right. Good job, buddy. No, sir. We don't do that. That's not nice. You can't kick. You can't kick. That's not nice. Donkey kicking. That's off. sir. Ah. Okay, well done. Well done. Well done. Goober, out. Flies. Letting flies are out, Choco. Hey, that wasn't so bad. That wasn't so bad. You did very good. Oh, here. You are fine.